Hi everyone, it's Colleen, your Adult Services Librarian here at the Shelby County Library, and today I wanted to start on this brand new how-to series on how to do calligraphy. So when I'm talking about calligraphy, I'm talking about the hand letter style of drawing your letters like this. This style is really popular right now in decorations and just kind of in general. I am self-taught on this, so I'm not going to be the most professional, and a lot of my practices aren't the best, I will admit, but I still really enjoy it, and I think it looks pretty nice. So I'm going to show you guys how to do some of the basics and a couple little flourishes and touches you can add for yourself. So for today, I want to start off really basic, basically talking to you guys about the different types of pens or markers you would like to use while doing this. Using a standard marker isn't the best tool to use when using this. You want to use a brush tip marker, and I'll show you some of the ones I like to use. We're also going to start off with the basic upstroke and downstroke today, getting kind of used to how your hand feels when you're doing that and how to apply that when you start to make your letters. So these are a couple of the different brush tip markers and pens that I like to use. This isn't an endorsement or any sort of advertising, just some suggestions for where to start if you're unsure of what to use, since this is what I used when I started. So the first one I started with was this one. It's called Handmade Modern. It's just a standard in brand Target brush tip marker, and this is what a brush tip looks like. As you can see, it looks like a little paintbrush, a little bit different from your standard markers, which are a little blockier. And as you can see, the way these draw and how they move is a lot more different than how standard markers work. So this one was a bit on the cheap side when I got it. And as you can see, it's kind of dried out a little bit when some of my other ones are still pretty fresh, even though I've had them for a couple years. So it's good if you're looking for a cheap place to start. It's not something you'd look to if it was professional, but if you're starting out from square one, you can start with one of these. The next one I wanted to show you guys is this, the PenTell Touch markers. See, there's some Japanese on it. And these I also got at Target. They're a little bit more expensive. However, I really like the tips of them. They're a lot smaller, as you can see, and they're not as flexible, but I find the little bit of stiffness in the brush tip is really great at controlling it. Sometimes it's kind of hard with softer brush tips to really control them, so it's really good if you're starting out. It doesn't give you the biggest of strokes, as you can see, but it's still a really solid marker, and it's something you can look into. Like I mentioned, I got this at Target as well. Finally, this one is not a brush tip per se. This is actually a Acrylic SuperTip, which I'm sure many of you have seen. They're pretty common, and you can just find them at any grocery store. But I have seen some people use these to do lettering. It's a lot more difficult just because the tips aren't meant for that and they aren't as flexible, but they can produce the results you're looking for, and if it's something you have on hand, hey, that's one less thing you gotta shop for. So if you're looking for something like that, I'd recommend that. You can get that at any grocery store like a Kroger or even like a Walgreens. Okay, so for today, we're just going to practice doing up and down strokes. So when you go up, you want to make your lines really thin and use the tip of it. I'm going to be using the PenTell Touch pens throughout these just because I find them the easiest to use and control. So just right now, keep practicing going up and using the tips, putting light amount of pressure on it, and
really practicing with that. I'll also work on doing the downstrokes, kind of pressing into your pen when you're going down, and then lightening when you get to the ends, or starting off really light and then pressing harder, then getting lighter towards the end. Just really play around with that while we're starting, because these are the basic strokes you're doing, and try doing curves with them as well, not just straight lines. So like this, or like this. Keep practicing with that. Get used to kind of changing the ways you apply pressure to the tips of your markers. And next week we will start working on lowercase letters. Thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate you watching and enjoying our virtual content. Please let us know what you think about this, either through email or comments down below, and we'll see you next time. Bye!